Okay, sir. So, good morning, everyone. Today we'll be talking about top 10 construction trends in 2020, which can transform the AEC industries. So, basically, from one of the article, civil engineers developing in our nation plays a vital role actually. From roads to the railways, from water network bridging, irrigation projects, and industrial plants and developing and strengthening the infrastructure. Basically, we have many more opportunities while coming to these technologies, and in India, there are conversion of the top 100 Indian cities into a smart cities with a budget of 2 lakh crores actually, and it will need a civil engineers with a digital skill to monitor the industrial work, including which includes basically internet of things, security, utilities, and traffic management basically. Then coming to the next slide. Today we'll be discussing about the top 10 trending technologies which are very much helpful in AEC industries. So first we'll be talking about cloud space, BIM, virtual and augmented reality, 3D printing, modularization and prefabrication. Then we'll come back to digital twin, exoskeleton, robotics, artificial intelligence and green and sustainable technology. So first is cloud space. It is a model of a computer data storage in which the digital data is stored in a logical pools which are said to be on the clouds. Basically, if you want a particular example for this, uh, then Google Drive. Google Drive is the best example for you to understand what is a cloud space actually. It actually like preserves our data actually, which is managed by a company, and which is managed by a company, and it includes all kind of data, and it will monitor the data. And next comes the being an ardent user of the traditional AutoCAD software, there is a switch to Auto Cloud CAD and BIM technology throughout the global. It is cultivated a new trend. A cloud CAD is a provider of DWG based CAD software which allows us to create, edit, and design. Basically, cloud is nothing but the which manages like all kind of activities, starting from the planning to designing, from execution of the plan, from the changes, from any of the changes in the plan, or which is being managed by the project managers and all. It quite hold it quite required a hold on each and every move which is involved actually. And Cloud CAD is a provider of DWG based CAD softwares which allows us to create, edit, and design. It also provides the perfect solution and effortless collaboration, communication, information sharing for the architects as well as the contractors. Basically, many of the data will be running one behind the other simultaneously. So basically, if one thing or a one thing or in a planning or a scheduling, any of the thing changes, basically it will come immediately to a uh, to each and every persons which are involved in this project, so that they can go through it what are the changes. So next, coming to the building information modeling, BIM software. It is widely used by many construction business, big and small industries, especially in the AEC sector, with the plenty of BIM software solutions available today. Basically, it is very much like useful for execution of a plan, as for from planning to seeing, then designing. Basically it is nothing but the combination of the much more softwares to create a model of the infrastructure actually, and to look after the to look after the mistakes or the improper planning, and to manage the schedules and to carry the work very progressively. Building in BIM is very useful, and it is a very much top trending technology in AEC industries. Basically, it is nothing but It includes a software such as the Revit, Naviswork, Desk BIM 360, SketchUp, Tekla BIM, then Trimble. These are the major components which are used in the BIM software. You people can hear me?
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay. So Revit is nothing but Revit is a major software used for MEP, mechanical, electric, and plumbing engineering. Revit shows a 3D vision actually of the project of our project actually. Wherein we can find out if any plumbing or the plumbing system or anything coming into a beam or it is interrupting, so we can find it very easily using Revit. Then comes the Navi's work. It allows us to like as we saw in the last webinar also taken by a ma'am, actually it was on BIM. So she majorly explained us about Revit and Navi's works, and I hope you people remembered the 3D view which we saw actually. The Navis work efficiently using Revit and other softwares. It's basically nothing but combination of all the softwares to produce a model and to see the errors and to clear out the errors. So the nicely like a project from the start to end it can be managed. So coming to our next slide, virtual reality and augmented reality. This is basically nothing. It is where a physical objects can be democratized and digitized in our own phone, wherein it adds the digital element to a live view, often by using the camera on a smartphone. It is nothing but by using our smartphone we can create an artificial things actually, and we can see and visualize the things how we are like if we want to plan any of the structure, basically any of the infrastructure or anything, we can just go through it, we can analyze it. Basically it is nothing but the uh, whereas a physical object can be extracted, democratized and digitized in our own phone. It does mean that by using only our smartphone we can go through the technologies, uh, like according to a study also, if we learn from the if we see and if we recognize the things, we learn much more faster than what we hear and what we see. When we touch the object, when we feel it, we the chances of our learning will be more actually. So augmented reality is nothing but it is the same thing, where we can add the digital elements to a live view, often by using a camera on the smartphone actually. So it is a basically mixture of three things actually: virtual reality, mixed reality, and augmented reality. It is an so coming to virtual reality is an interactive computer generated depiction of a real and the artificial world, or the activities, any of the activities. For now we use many of the filters in Instagram, where cartoons will be dancing and all. These are nothing but it is a one of a type of the virtual reality actually, what we use in our social media day to day life actually. Then coming to a mixed reality, it is an interactive deception of the view of combined real world and the computer generated elements. Like basically what I said now, I hope you people use few filters where the cartoons dance and all in social media. Hopefully if you people have used in Insta. So it is one of the use of the augmented and virtual reality. Then coming back to the augmented reality is a real world view with the additional computer generated enhancement. Like we can design, we can see, we can changes anything and all we can do by using the virtual and augmented reality. It is very helpful. Like whole of our mobile cell phone can be just minimized into specs. Can you people see how useful it is? So coming back to 3D printing and modeling, what is this? The scope of 3D modeling and printing can be missed in the AEC industry. The three-dimensional modeling software saw its growth much faster due to the impacts it generated on the marketing campaign, because 3D modeling is a very major things when coming to an AEC industries, wherein we can show the clients how the work progress start, how the work start progressively, starting from the excavation to the minute detailing, like from excavation to handing over the project to a client. We can show them how planning and how the architectural design is being made. Then the softwares, it is nothing but 3D printing is nothing but it is a, again it is a combination of many more softwares such as AutoCAD, Revit brings about the 3D visualization easy for construction project, which was not possible with the 2D models. So 3D models cannot show us like visualization to see how exactly the structure looks when we rotate it and all, so it was not possible. In 2D view we are able to see only a front view or top view. We are not able to rotate the models and we can't able to visualize it, but use of the 3D printing helps us to visualize the model, basically for convincing the client by showing them our project. So 3D printing basically is a very important thing. So it is a topmost trending technology basically. When BIM consulting services are integrated with the 3D printing and modeling, one can visualize if the planned idea of the architects will work out and bring the desired results. Basically, as we know, the BIM is a like combination of the many more softwares. While integrating both BIM as well as the 3D printing, we can see actually the modeling can visualize and planned ideas of the architecture will actually work in future. Will structure be able to resist amount of loads carrying on it? Will the design made by the architecture will work out or not? We can see that actually 3D printing and extension of the 3D modeling creates the 3D format digitally. So coming to our next slide, this is another top trending technology which we have: modularization and prefabrication. Modularization and prefabrication is nothing but I think you people know whole to part, like whole to part, like it is a technically driven construction methods and buildings, making a big into a small. Basically it is an incremental expansion of their building through working from the codal values detail to a standardized original area through materials, components, elements, planner system, volumetric system, or complete building system. So it is nothing but when people are migrating from one place to another place, we can actually make this into an action. We can use modularization. Basically it is a precasted elements of walls, of roofs, or any of the beams, structure, footings, everything is being casted like individually and placed and brought to a construction site, and these are being held together to make a structure actually. Again, coming to prefabrication, it is a practice of assembling the components of the structure in a factory to other manufacturing site and transporting completely assemblies or the sub assemblies to a construction site where the structure is to be located. Basically each and every individual thing which are being included is being transported from the site, from the industry where it is being manufactured, from to the site, and then all the components are being bought together and they are like they are being assembled at a one place. So modularization and prefabrication. I hope you people remember the last time webinar we had on modularization. We had one of our sir had one of his project in North Karnataka where many of the people lost their homes, houses due to flooding in North Karnataka. So this was the technique used by the industry actually, modularization, to give home to many homeless people who have lost their house. This thing, this project budget and cost were sanctioned by the government actually. So this is very fast technology. So we can get into a like we have very much advantages from modularization. So hope you will remember last time what sir explained in webinar. So coming back to digital twinning is nothing but it is a digital replica of the infrastructure building which will enable the visualization asset throughout the life cycle of the project. It is nothing but the virtual physical copy asset of the product. If we have an original copy, we will have one more artificial copy of the existing infrastructure. Then it connects the real and the virtual world by collecting the real time data from the installed sensors. It actually works on the GPS sensors actually, and collected data. The entire locally decentralized or centralized source cloud and data is then evaluated and stimulated in the virtual copy of assets. After reviving the information for stimulation, the parameters applied to a real set, like collecting the data from the sensors to everything, and these are being integrated and artificial model asset of the product can be made. Basically, these are used in the manufacturing industries, automotives, and it is also used in construction. It has a very vital role in construction as well, and it is also being used in healthcare and utilities actually. It's a big thing in fourth for the industrial revolution and development of the new product and process. So basically, if anybody wants to create a new model, they can, without like initializing to its production, we can actually go in forth to see how it looks exactly, how it is physical structure and all. So it is basically used in automotives, very much used in automotive industries, but it is also very much useful in construction as well. So it is the digital replica of the infrastructure build which with enable the visualization of the asset throughout the life cycle of the project. The functions of digital twinning: it connects the real and the virtual world, collects the data. It collects a many more data through the sensors. Then the parameters are applied to the real assets, and then integration of the data with the virtual representation. Then coming to exoskeleton, its exoskeleton is nothing but it's an outfit designed to reduce the stress on the back and the legs arm by performing the part of all the works of the various muscle, which can detect a muscle activation cell sent from the brain, which produces the muscular strength to perform effortlessly. Basically, it is used for the workers which are the for the workers which the people who are working at the site. It provides a strength. Actually, it provides a strength to people working at the site. Exoskeleton is very useful. It is a outfit actually to reduce the stress on the bags on the leg, and it helps for a human body. It detects actually the activation cells from the brain actually, and then it has been which provide the muscular strength to perform effortlessly. It is seen that it is able to carry much more load, and it can also it has many uses of exoskeletons on the site. Helps the worker to carry a more load, reduces the total number of the workers required on site actually, because due to this we can use the less number of the workers at the site also by using exoskeleton, as we get a more number of efficiency from the less number of workers due to use of the exoskeleton. So more number of workers are not required actually when we use exoskeleton. Reduces the man hours lost due to the human injuries. It also helps the people who are working at the site. they can't get injured too often, and it reduces the injuries and the amount of loss for the people working at the site actually. uh, yeah, that's all. It reduces the man hours lost due to the human injuries. Then coming to the next slide, it is a robots. That is a it's a trending is more fascinating to note as the traditionally the construction industry saw very minute things in terms of the automation and relied greatly on the manual intervention. So robotics is nothing but using of the machineries actually, which are able to help in construction, able to help in faster construction actually, and to perform a detailings very nicely. And then coming to our robotics, there are basically the robots which are used in construction are basically divided into five categories actually. The first is construction robotics. Robotics, they can build walls, roofs, they can build walls, roofs and all. And the basic example of such robotics are Hardian and Sam 100 for the Victor, New York based construction robotics promises to reduce the operating cost and the waste, and provide the safe environment and improve the productivity. So they provide a safer environment to work, and they keep on everything, they keep on notice everything which are happening on site. And coming to our next properties of the robot, the autonomous equipment doesn't need an operator. So basically the robots which are used in the construction sites, they doesn't need any operator to operate them actually. Where the automotives vehicles are already a part of the construction robotics, which helps in transporting the material. Volvo has been working on its HX2. So basically, example for the autonomous equipment robotics, HX2. It is an automotive electric loading carrier that can move heavy loads. It has a driven cab, and instead the user digital logic. It basically does not have any operator. It basically has a digital logistic driven control technology, which is called as a vision system. It's make use of that, and there is no need of operators actually for these robots. And smart robots employ imagining technology. The construction rover, these are nothing basically. This uses drones using the sensors such as the GPS, using the sensors and the lidar with GPS to provide the information of the site. Anybody heard of lidar actually? If you people, I want anybody to respond actually.
I think that is new for them. If you explain, definitely all whatever you are telling is future, which is going to come, and it is advanced things. Maybe a lot of people they will explore once your presentation is over. They will go and explore the things.
Okay, so basically, lidar. I We had a presentation actually in our college while we were doing survey camp. So these people showed us what lidar can do. Actually, it doesn't need any of the cross staff or any of the accessories such as the total station. Also, actually, it is a very it is around 5 feet of the height, and in wide it is around 3 feet. That's all. If you place this on any car, and if you just take a round of that site actually, it collects each and every data of each and every point actually. It covers around 1 million or billion points at one time actually, whereas the total station collects around 10,000 or 10,000 points actually, wherein this lidar can collect each and every point which is visible at a site. So lidar is very much useful. It is very much expensive actually, lidar. So after this session, you just people go and google it, what are the functions of lidar and what is lidar used for. It is very much expensive, and it gives us more precisely, it gives us very precise data actually. So it is nothing but the smart robots and employing imagining technology involves the sensors and the lidars actually. This involves sensors and lidars, and including drones as well. Drones are basically used to see the construction activities which are happening in the construction site actually. Drones are very much useful to look at the what are the changes nearby the surroundings of the site, whether workers are working precisely or not. So we can have a check due to drones actually. So next, coming to an
Regarding
operate.
drones, we had a session last month. We had a session how the drone helps to the construction industry. It was a detailed session. I will share the video. I think a few people attended the session. Seems to be who are not attended. You can attend. We are conducting the program in future also. I will meanwhile I will share the link also for the drones in construction, how it helps. On that overview about the drones in construction technology and how the piloting process happens and the processing of data happens. It's about 4.5 hours video, three different stages it has been given. So I will share with you. You can include in your reports also, and you can learn also. Okay, and it's totally of theory, and it will be informative for you. And we wanted to conduct this program offline also, but due to COVID, we could not able to take the offline phase two of the program. So phase one you can complete. I will share the videos to the audience. Okay.
Okay, sir. So coming back to the operate construction robotics remotely, this is nothing. This is very interesting actually. This robotic application, it make use of IoT, Internet of Things. I think last week we had a session on this by ma'am actually, by Hausia ma'am, by
Oh,
yeah
Gulshan,
Gulshan
Dr.
ma'am. Sorry,
Gulshan, Dr.
yeah,
Gulshan,
Dr.
and
Gulshan
I'm
ma'am.
going to plan this program also in future. Who are not attended, you will attend later. Okay.
So please guys, attend each and every webinar. It is very useful. When I was like making report on this PPT, actually, I noticed what are the webinars which are being carried out and what are is being, nothing is useless here. When we people like sit for an hour and we watch, nothing is useless. It will be again a profitable knowledge for us actually. So this operating construction robotics remotely uses actually IoT, Internet of Things. It works basically on Internet of Things actually, where Internet of Things can also be like gathered. They can also gather data in mobile as well, and it can be passed from the client to the project manager, where each and every detailed move happening at the construction site can be come into a noted actually. So it is very useful operating construction robotics remotely. Then coming to the conduct surveillance, surveying and inspection. Conduct surveillance, surveying and inspection, it involves before and during and the construction project. Many of the assessment requires the review of the work site and the surrounding areas. So while the any of the construction happening on the site, so we need to look after actually what are the moves is being taking, what are the changes regarding the surroundings actually, what are the changes happening actually, what are the materials available, not available, and all, which requires the inspection as well as the conduct the surveillance. For the supervising the workers and the security side, project manager and the supervisors must work the site to conduct the final inspection. So basically, the supervisors and the project managers, these people take around actually. around the construction site, while work is happening before construction, while work is also in the progress, and after the construction as well, because they need to make sure whether the work is being carried out progressively. So with the construction, robotics and drones can be helpful all type of these process. So as I said, what are each and every activity which is being carried on the site can be captured by a drone, which will be very easy, so that project manager can have a hold on what all the things happening at the site, and they can have a good track on the things running on the site. So coming to next, artificial intelligence. This is very nice topic actually. Uh, I liked it this one very much actually. Uh, Artificial intelligence, every aspect of learning or any other feature of the intelligence can be made to stimulate it. It is nothing but any of the process, any of the things, like creating any of the things which can be created actually by applying all the mathematical and the codal values all in put together, and they can stimulate simultaneously to produce a product actually. An attempt will be made to find how to make machines use the languages and abstraction and the concepts. Alteration of AI, artificial intelligence in AEC, all brings about the real time and the virtual reality models. See here also, it includes the virtual reality, augmented reality, everything. So these are the things which will be like carrying on the industry, sorry, construction industries actually. The noise in a big data and the escape, the key issues for the consumer. It includes the machine learning, imagine and object recognition, building materials can be analyzed by the artificial intelligence. Basically artificial intelligence, it reduces the like it reduces moreover the errors which are being happening. With such technology, a simple phone taken image uploaded on the cloud can be used to analyze the building models and type of the roofs and etc, and all such data guide us the progress ahead in the project and in decision making. So it basically one of the programming structures, artificial intelligence, which is programmed to form a product or something, and anything can be created using AI, artificial intelligence. It is very much interesting. I hope you people understood till now. So we will be moving to the last slide actually. Green and sustainable technology. What is green and sustainable technology? It enables the more valuable use of the natural resources and greatly reduces the ecological impact. So what does we mean by this? So what are the, you know, how much of the amount of this RCC buildings emit carbon dioxide emission from the automobiles, from the industries, from the cement manufacturing industries, and all they all produce a hell lot of carbon monoxide, and which is very harmful. Basically, due to this useful of this harmful gases, our ozone layer is being depleted. So we gotta, like, earth is our mother, so we gotta reduce this kind of pollutions, so we can make use of green and sustainable technology. Basically it is being the like around within 3 to 4 years, I guess it will be mandatory in every house that it should have a rainwater harvesting system actually. So advantages of green and sustainable technology: reduces the waste, recycling of the old materials, optimizing energy efficiency, low to zero carbon emission. Reduces the waste actually, recycling of the old materials, optimizing energy efficiency, low to the zero carbon emission, low to zero carbon emission. Basically all of these green and sustainable technologies includes solar panels, wind energy, Then compositing. You people know what is compositing? We can make use of our own womb pit, perfect for the use in home actually. A composite is nothing but all of the like waste organic things which are not useful, like a peel of the vegetables and all. We can make use of them instead of throwing them and polluting the environment. We can make use of them by a machine, and we can composite them into a soil actually. And then electric vehicle. uh, Basically there are few companies which produce the electric vehicles actually. It's Nissan, Chevy, BMW. It's basically include wireless charging capabilities, better gas mileage, and then zero emission. Still makes it better alternative than a petroleum powered cars. So basically use of the natural resources, petroleum is nothing but the extraction of the crude oil, which is basically found in the Gulf countries. So we can reduce the usage of the petrol by using the electrical vehicle. Basically EV is the future of the automotive industries. So EV is one of the the automobile industry actually, which produces more electric vehicles actually. I don't know how many people knows. If you people go in a Google and type the electric vehicle, you can see a number of vehicles. Last time, I hope you people know, there is an what was that actually, IT center actually in Bangalore. So they had these electrical vehicles actually. So these people will be offering a free ride for all of us. They like whoever visiting that place. So you can visit there actually. It is nice place. Then coming, it also includes the vertical farming. Anybody know what is vertical farming? It is basically producing a greeny leafy things without using of the soils actually,
They
without
are
using
using hydroponics for that.
yeah sir, without using soil actually.
Yeah, that's they are using hydroponics. That is
Hmm.
upcoming subject where a lot of landscape architects are studying on that, and even building by brigade. If you go from Hebal to airport, Bangalore airport, right side you can see a entire building from top to bottom. In the vertical side, they made the gardening. So that is because the space they made it nicely, and nowadays they are using hydroponic systems, and they are trying to implement for all the pillars of metros also. They wanted to put a garden on the vertical pillars. That is also a new technology where they are using for the farming and for the landscaping also.
Yeah sir. So
Yeah, you can proceed.
So basically, uses of the green and sustainable technology reduces emission of greenhouse gases actually. So we can implement to either a rainwater harvesting or green buildings, make use of the solar panels, make use of more solar things actually. Uh, and basically our houses which are made up of RCCs, even these produces many of the heat actually. They consume more and more heat actually. So yeah, that's all. So I hope you people liked it. So these are the top trending 10 technologies in 2020. Yeah
Presentation
sir,
is
yeah
done.
sir, yeah sir.
These are unlisted videos. You can find in the Google, or you can find in my channels. These are unlisted videos. You can copy and paste somewhere, and you can utilize your free time to learn about more about drones and other things. And a few things I want to say. The presentation was very good, and I appreciate Madhika Banu for this. And we will provide a good certificate for you for the new topic what you have chosen, and you have done small research on that. All our latest technologies which is going to come in future. This which if you scroll to first topic, yeah,
First topic,
yeah, the
cloud
building
space.
information modeling. Yes, of course we are taking,
Yeah,
yeah,
sir.
cloud space,
BIM, like this is very much useful
a
actually.
very
BIM.
good topic, and where the very much interesting. All the topics are upcoming, and building information modeling. Of course, our we also train the people on building information modeling and virtual reality and augmented reality, where they are using where mainly they are using for creating the models. And now a lot of real estate brokers and real estate companies are in virtual reality and augmented reality. Even interior companies, they are hiring these people virtual reality and augmented reality, where the lot of people sitting from their home, they can select the design, and how the future design will be there. All these things they are bringing into a virtual model, and they're getting the business with this the virtual reality and augmented reality. And for the government also, a lot of projects, how it is getting a visualization effect they are giving. So these will be a future for the few people. And next one, you can explore these areas also. Next one, yeah, 3D printing. Yesterday, Nitila has spoke on 3D printing. You can find that is available in public domain. I posted in CMTA Institute channel. I will show. Karthik is new. You may not be knowing. I will share the channel link right now. 1 second. One second. I will share the channel. See, this is a channel. You can find out a lot of student learning reports and their success stories and all. Two channels are there. One is expert channel, where experienced people they provide the knowledge. A lot of webinars who are missed also. I will share the channel. Few webinars where the project information is critical. We can't share that one. That we put it in unlisted mode, and a lot of things which can be shared to the public, we put it in. We posted in the public mode. You can watch. You can subscribe to this channel, and you can watch about the 3D printing and all. Nikhila has nicely spoke on 3D printing. You can watch on that. Next topic, 3D printing is going to be in the future. Modularization, yes. Prefabrication is the need for our, because we are not getting the labors in the construction industry. So most of the projects are in the modularization and prefabrication, just assembling. I will share one of the projects which is happening in Bangalore. It's a Vaishnavi Serene. You can explore. I will give you one of my student is working on that project, and my known people are there. They are producing the things at some way, means the entire elements, walls, slabs, and everything they are doing in 100 kilometers away, and they are just assembling it in the Bangalore. See, all the concreting, steel, reinforcement, everything is happening outside 100 kilometers away, and they are just assembling the building blocks. This is G+4 structure. I have given the website address. You can go and search Vaishnavi Serene. I have pictures of the project also, because my students are working there as a site engineer. Today, one guy joined there, and he was being intern on that company since long through CMTI only. And my colleagues are working on that project. This is G+4 structure. Entire structure they made somewhere else, and they are just coming and assembling, and the project is happening here.
So you can watch this particular thing also. And 3D modular construction, that is also happening. And if you go to home, that website and all I will give later. This content itself for you enough to learn lot many things. You go through and get connected. Tomorrow we have one more program of Indian green buildings. About green building, she has spoken on the 10th point, where she has given the green and sustainability. Tomorrow, I am inaugurating a green building chapter for a college in Bangalore, that is Atria Institute of Technology. If you give 2 seconds of time, I will give you the link also. I am heading the Green Building Council also for the colleges and institutions. You can directly, you are getting the privilege to attend the program without any registration. Just you can just log in and you can attend. Barry sir is going to address on that. 11 to 12:30 you can learn about the green buildings. That is also now government made a mandatory that more all the buildings of the public should go for all the whatever the buildings constructed by the government, it is going to be green. And there will be a future rule for the by the government that all the private buildings also going to be green. 1 second. All the private buildings also will be going to be the green. So tomorrow 10:30 a.m. We have a session on green buildings. We can attend this one. We can learn about the green building. What is green building? How it is going to happen? How it benefits in detail. 1 hour plus presentation will be there. My colleagues from IGBC Hyderabad, they are going to present this program. Okay, I want everyone to attend that particular program also. And one more thing I wanted to say, and you people, everyone should be active in LinkedIn. Already a lot of people are there. I would wish everyone to be LinkedIn. You should have a LinkedIn page, LinkedIn profile, professional profile. You can learn about the latest technology, what is happening in the industry, and you can get connected with the top people in the construction industry, what they are saying, how it helps, and what are the new technologies coming up, what students are learning, what companies are looking for, where the jobs are coming up, and where are they are writing a lot of blogs also. You can watch it and you can get connected with your related people. In Facebook you are getting connected, in Instagram you are connected with the unrelated people. Those people are not in the maybe directly linked with your construction industry. Anyway, you chosen your career as a civil engineer, as a construction industry. You should get connected with the top people of the construction industry. Then definitely it will help you professionally also. Because you can understand what are the trends happening in the construction industry. All this information is available in LinkedIn, and how it works. Already a student has made a nice presentation. All the students should have a LinkedIn profile, and our company's ID I have shared. You can get connected with the LinkedIn profile of our company ID also. You can find out a lot of professionals who are coming here. You can get connected with them for more learnings and for job opportunities, for everything. It helps you to grow professionally. Yeah, each and every professional of CMTA should have a very good profile of LinkedIn. A lot of people are having. I wanted everyone to have. Okay, and hope this presentation was useful for you, apart from Mr. Natarajan's presentation. And regarding your classes, a lot of people are in various groups. They are doing internship, STCCM, ICCM, and all. So your separate classes will be informed by Madam on their respective groups. You will have few classes on combined classes, and a few classes will be most of the classes will be on your as per the domain what you are choosing. We have a record of all these things. What are the schedules? Every day schedule is being updated when what is happening, and what are the topics are we have taken. Sometimes if you miss on particular classes, you can ask our team. They will have a record and they will send the recording also. Otherwise, when the classes are once again happening, they will give an access to you. Okay, a lot of classes are happening from morning to night, so you can ask them. You can WhatsApp them. Sometimes they will be busy on their work, so best way is WhatsApp. Otherwise, you can ask them to
construction manager will be there. These two people will not be related to any other people around below. They are very much directly involved with the project manager, site in charge, safety and quality engineer. And then you will have accountant, construction manager, planning. Construction manager will be related to site engineers, all these foremen. It depends on the project value, how big project is there. If the project is very big, then instead of project manager, one more general manager will come into the site. Then the entire thing will get reorganized. Let us see about briefly about lump sum contract. This is nothing but the lump sum will be there. That means there is no unit rate will be there. You have to calculate, the contractor has to calculate, and he has to tell this much of amount is required for completing this project. One lump amount will be there. Say about 1.5 crores, 2 crores. It will not be having any items, but it will be written in the specification, and quantities will not be written. You should be very, very careful in studying this drawing in lump sum contract, because if the quantity is left out, then it will become a big problem. You have to quantity and the cost, it should be very, very careful. You have to be calculated very minute to this one. Otherwise, lump sum contract cannot be changed as and when you require. Unit price, this is the safest, this one for a contractor. That's what we normally do. Each and every item will have its own rates. That is called unit rate. Cost plus percentage. So whatever the cost you are investing on the project, you have to document it, plus percentage you will get, say 15% or 20%, whatever you have talked about with the client. That is called cost plus fixed percentage. Cost plus fixed contract, fixed fee contract. It's not like a percentage. So what they will going to do, cost has to be documented, and something like fixed fee. So you will give 2 lakh rupees for your supervision, 3 lakh rupees for supervision, like that. That is called cost plus fixed fee contract. The above one was cost plus fixed percentage. Either you can quote for a percentage or you can go for fixed fee. It all depends on the client. So again, these are all the various forms of contract. Cost plus variable percentage. So that fixed percentage is over for the whole project. Variable percentage is for each and every item. We will have various percentage. That is called variable percentage contract. Target estimate contract. If you complete within this period, this amount. If you are not able to complete this project within this time, you will be penalized, like that. Target estimate contract. Public-private partnership. This may not have seen in road projects. Normally in road projects, this will going to happen. Build, operate, and then take over. That is what they will not give even a single pie. The construction company has to pay for everything. Then they will give the government authority will give you the permission to collect what you call the toll from the users up to 15 years or 20 years, like that. After that, you have to hand it over to the government. This is what is happening in bridges and national highways. Preparation of tender offer, study of documents, project details, project scope, decision to bid, requirement of technology partners. A lot of things are there. Arrangement for site investigation. You have to go and investigate the site before quoting, and then rate quoting, and then you have to study a lot of things. How much distance is there for the material to get in, whether there is place for stacking the material, or you have to put the material in some other site. A lot of things are there. You have to investigate those. Based on that, you have to quote it. Otherwise, you will be in deep trouble. So a lot of things are detailed study of contract, preparation of layout, project schemes, bill of quantities, technical offer. These are all initial stages. Tendering stages again. Construction schedule, method statement. These will be involved with clients. When you are involved with clients, so supposing if you are a client engineer, these are all the things you require. When you are a construction engineer, something different will be there. Construction schedule is more important. Method statement, that's what we call it as methodology. Detailed cost estimate, labor, manpower, machinery and manpower and plant. Plant is called machineries with overheads. Final sale service, compilation, tender negotiations, lot of things are there. Final contract agreement. Up to this, client will have control. See, it doesn't matter how many resources you have. If you don't know how to use them, it will never be enough. This is more important as far as construction is concerned. These are all construction managements. A lot of these functional roles of project engineers. I have told you a lot of domains are the planning, costing, procurement, contract, quality, execution, safety, project coordinator, reinforcement engineer, skill sets required. These are all skill sets required for each and every one. Planning engineer requires a lot of scope of work, understanding, sequence of construction, everything you should know. Time and resources, cost required for costing engineer, reading construction drawings, working out detailed measurements, AutoCAD, with AutoCAD understanding the methods, measurements as per IS codes, preparation of rate analysis. This will be sent to you by sir. You can go through when you are free. I'm just going through this in a rapid fast. Okay, quality engineer, what is required for that? Quality engineer, execution engineer. He is the most important one. So skill sets you have to develop based on this. What I suggest is you have to start with the execution. Then after 4 or 5 years, you should learn about all these things, costing, quality, and all. Then you can choose your domain, and you can take it up. So what is required for this? You have to learn at the time of being an execution engineer. Planning engineer doesn't know what requires costing engineers, what is required for him. So you have to select to improve your basic knowledge about planning, and there will be different classes for how to do the planning. So any doubts are there, please ask me. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No doubts. It means everyone understood everything.
No, they may be asking, sir, after some time, once they go through.
Okay. Right.
All slides are given to them. Sir, you just forward this to me. I will put it in WhatsApp group also.
Okay, sir. Right.
Okay.
Right. Thank you very much.
And one student presentation is there, sir. I will just